All right. Hello, everyone. How are you? So today we're doing a healthy cooking class. So we're going to go light on everything and then go from there, okay? So first we're going to go with the, we're going to do the sautéed kale with the balsamic vinegar, okay? So in this pan, we're just going to get a nice little hot pan, extra virgin olive oil. Everything's very healthy. Light in the olive oil. I like to throw in the mushrooms first, get it like a sear on it to bring out a little bit extra flavor on there. Because if you throw in your garlic first and your onions, then they're typically going to get to that, past that translucent point, and it'll get to more of a bitter, burnt brown by the time your onions get cooked and cooked down and get a nice color on it. So I throw the mushrooms in first, get the color on it, cook them down. Then I'll throw in my garlic and my onions and all my other things. So then it all cooks together around the same time. We're going to get this cauliflower going for the cauliflower mash. So while we're doing our kale, our cauliflower is going to be blanching. So basically you just cut it right off the stem, right? Let it fall. And it's very simple. And it's just big chunks. And then you always make sure you heavily season your water, but we're doing healthy cooking. So we're just going to go light seasoning on our water. And we're going to get this blanched for our cauliflower mash. Blanch is basically just cooking it down in some steamed water. You can steam it, or you can put in some boiling water, and so it boils it together, or blanching it, and then take it out right into a bowl, and then we're going to mash it. While that's cooking, we can go back to our kale. Now we're going to add our garlic, our red onions, and we're going to sweat these all down. And when I mean sweat, we're basically cooking it down to get it to a translucent color, so it looks opaque. It looks like see-through a little bit, but it's got no color on it, okay? Because we don't want that color, because then it starts tasting bitter. We're going to throw our red bell peppers in, cook them down just a little bit. And the bell peppers have like a lot of fiber and vitamin C. Same with the kale, has a lot of fiber in it. So basically, when I do a bell pepper, you can do it in one shot, right? You just come down, and you can do it all with getting the stems and everything. And then you save this, and then you got that. So then I'm just doing a simple small dice. Right. And it's just a simple small dice. Okay, so then the kale, we just added it in right now and basically just washed it down. You can either pick it off the stem comes right down the middle, and you can pick it. I like to do it by hand. I just do it by hand and come down. I just think it's the nicest way to do it. It's simple, and then you get nice little, bundles and nice little pieces, okay? So right now I got the kale cooking down. We got the mushrooms in there, the bell peppers, the onions. Now we're going to throw in a little bit of balsamic vinegar, right? It sounds a little different, but actually with all the different flavors going in, it balances really well. Now we finish it with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, a little Parmesan. You can do the Parmesan or not put the Parmesan if you want to go with no cheese or anything like that, okay? Okay, and that's basically the braised kale with the mushrooms and bell peppers and onion. Simple dish, healthy, lots of fiber, the mushrooms, it looks beautiful. We're going to get on this mashed cauliflower now. Lots of different things you can add to this right now because it's just the base, right? And what we're just going to add, we're going to add very simple salt and pepper, and a little bit of fresh thyme. On the menu, I have roasted garlic on the menu, on the recipe cards. You can do chopped garlic, you can add some caramelized onions, whatever you would like. So what we do, we just pluck it off the stems, and then a simple rough chop. All right, now we're just going to mash it down. Any kind of little masher you have on the recipe, we put fruit processor too. You can throw this right into a fruit processor. You just simply mash it down a little bit. All right. And then we're just, for this one, to make sure it's healthy, all it has is a little bit of olive oil in there, salt and pepper, thyme, and garlic. Beautiful. So some smashed cauliflower with some fresh thyme and olive oil. Very healthy. And then we can finish it with a little fresh parsley on top. Let's kind of roll it up a little bit. A little fresh parsley on top. Very simple, very fresh. It's whole grain mustard, Dijon mustard, and a little bit of jam. So you can use some kind of cranberry jam that you have at home or in a store, or you can make it yourself and make a nice little cranberry jam. Or during the holidays, if you have a little left over, save it, and then you just make a nice little rub. It's very simple. I recommend always making your own kind of rubs. Buy the garlic powder or buy the granulated garlic, your salt, your pepper, your paprika. Majority of the rubs are paprika, salt, pepper, garlic, onion. So pork tenderloin. Basically, I just took the center cut of the pork tenderloin, cut it down. You can trim it if you would like to get it a little healthier, less fat on there. Take off the fat right here. It'll make it a little dry. That's the thing. If you're taking the fat off, but majority of the time you want to leave it on and let it cook and let the fat go through the meat. But we're doing it healthy today, so we're going to take off majority of this fat. And when I take the fat or the silver skin off, I do one slice going in the opposite direction. And then I pull the skin and then just use the knife coming across. Okay. So basically it's just a simple rub, everyone. You just put it right on, okay? Now we just cake it on, a nice lather all over it. And then when I baked it earlier, you'll see I put a lot of this rub right on top, right into a roasting pan at 325, and we did it for about an hour and a half. This marinade goes, it's simple because it gets nice and caramelized right on top because you have all the sugar from the jam on there, and then it gets really caramelized. But the only thing you got to watch out is once it gets in the oven, it starts getting brown right away, right? Because you got the sugar. So about a half an hour to 45 minutes in, it starts getting a nice brown. That's when you'll cover it with some foil and then continue the cooking process. And that's basically it. Once we got it roasted, we let it, and then after it came out, we let it sit for about 20 minutes to let the juices come back together. That's the most important spot. You don't cut right into it right away. Because once you cut into it, all the juice is going to come out. So you let it sit for a while, let it come back together, and then that's when we cut really nice slices, and then we fanned them out on top of the sheet trays. We're going to set up over here, and you guys can come up, and we could try it all. I have a little bit for everyone to try. Yeah.